Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday. I'm almost certain it is May 4th. Jesus Christ. March 4th. But honestly, hold on, let me see. Is it March 4th or 5th? Honestly, I can't. Oh, hold on. Yes, the 4th. It's the 4th because Friday was the 1st. Okay. So today is March 4th. Pardon. And yeah, another Monday. Another magical Monday. Hope you are doing well, that you had a wonderful weekend, and that you are poised for a powerful week. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, we got the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. There's somebody out in the cold. I almost cut it again too. I kind of wish that I should have, but you know, no mistakes, no coincidence in tarot. It is what it is. But the Five of Pentacles is like, it could be poverty, could be a poverty mindset, someone that actually is not doing well, either physically or financially. It could be a codependent relationship here that's struggling to survive, and that there's a bit of a there's some jeopardy of survival apart. So that's where the codependency is anchored, where more or less there's some need for perhaps two people that would either rather be elsewhere or with someone else or doing something else or having something else, but for whatever reason are bound by circumstances perhaps. And that could be in the most man, having trouble speaking. That could be in the most dire straits, as in two people that literally just despise each other, but there's some reason why they're still together. But that could also be in the more primitive or practical state where two people have been grounded by a certain level of companionship and dependency on one another, where they may not necessarily hate each other, but they don't absolutely love the circumstances that they find themselves intertwined in, i.e. staying together for the kids or staying together for financial reasons because it just makes literally dollars and cents to do so, and for appearances, you know, for practicality, waiting till the kids are grown or till the kids are off to school and things of that nature. It could be any range of those things, but the Five of Pentacles, there's really not a whole lot that you can say that's premiumly productive about it. So let's just see where it goes from here. Maybe things will look up. Here's hoping. Okay, let's see. We got the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody wants to be single. Shoot, maybe they both do. Look how it's covering him, like, because that always gives more of a man, and then that's a feminine to me, from how I see it. And somebody either wants to be single or moves like a single person. Maybe it could be like an arrangement of sorts where they together, but they not together. You know, there is liberty within the connection. As I said, like some type of contractual, I keep saying contract, not necessarily, but some type of agreement where it is what it is, pretty much. And it ain't what it is. And it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Let's see what else we got. Damn. Now it's getting serious. Hold up. Oh. Oh no. I was really trying to avoid this vibration. Not on a Monday to start the week off. Like, come on. Okay, so I'll say in the primitive sense, it could just be the end of that relationship. Now I'm here until death do us part. But what I'm really feeling, what I was sensing when I first saw that death card with this Nine of Pentacles, is that this is someone that would be willing to go a great length to bring an end to this commitment. Hence, the fact that he was covered by her initially, and now the death card is covering the two of them, but what is emerging from the demise of that relationship, but her, not just as a single lady, but in a very prosperous position, as a matter of fact. So it's given like somebody would be willing to eliminate a partner for the purposes of a come up. Could be, I kept saying contract, so it could be like an insurance plot or ploy, or like that type of energy where on account of his demise, she would come up and be rid of the relationship and the obligation of the commitment. That's what I'm really sensing. I don't know though. I get the sense that something that would be the ideal, but I'm drawn to like the priest in this death card. Let's see what's on the other side of death. Ooh, that's the Chariot. Now it kind of turned over. Yeah, I was feeling that too. Like it's not quite working out. It was turned upside down. I have the liberty to take it right side up, but in this regard, I kind of feel that energy because that's where I was feeling guided anyway. That perhaps what's been intended is not going to follow through the way it was anticipated. It's not going to be successful. Even if something's not going to be successful, hopefully by God, the demise itself before it gets to be. But if that was the intended plan for some payoff or prosperous outcome to occur on account of someone's passing, something is not going to pan out well. Like I'm getting like maybe the policy wasn't quite what was anticipated, or the assets weren't what was anticipated. Maybe there's more liability. Then that would keep somebody stuck from moving ahead productively or successfully. Like what you thought you was inheriting was really more debt than it actually was, like a wealthy estate. I could see that. or there was some type of contractual conflict where she wasn't in line to actually benefit, like a listed beneficiary as it would be expected on account of this partnership. Let's see what else we got. Let's get it back over here to this Nine of Pentacles. What's she on? What's she on? Some magic, some manipulation. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Yeah, it could be a manipulation of the paperwork, which is why she would have been so certain that she would be the beneficiary. But something got turned upside down with this Chariot card. I'm hearing an unsung hero. So maybe someone that was also privy to the affairs of someone that would be able to vouch for the, that would be able to like validate the authenticity of the documents or the paperwork or whatever it is that would pronounce this person a beneficiary. Let's see. Lover's card, yeah. Manipulating, yeah, definitely. In terms of this partnership. Now she, God forbid, like I'm speaking about this, just how it comes up, but hopefully nobody is actually like deceased, right? But this is somebody that in the event of someone's passing would be falling out at the casket, crying all over line, talking about how much of a good man he was and how great their relationship was and blah, blah, blah. And like whole time it was just a lick, you know, it was like, it was a lick. And we know with the Lover's card, it must be pure. It can't, or it will be exposed one way or the other. You know, you can fool people, you can fool human perspective, but you can't fool the spiritual perspective. And in this day and age, if someone is trying to fraud their way into the benefits of a partnership that they did not honorably possess, they, in spirit, it will be known, it'll be rectified and justified, and in truth, it will also be. It's like there's too much of a balance in the frequencies right now. Truly, even with the Lover's card, there's like an energy of balance there for it not to be justified in the earth just as it would, just like, you know, like spirit knows, like, you know how we say God knows, God sees everything, and people have been getting away with a lot forfeiting that truth, you know, just outright ignoring it, you know, because in the natural, people have been able to manipulate energies, create illusions, falsify documents, forge paperworks, steal and outright destroy truth in the physical form. And by human capability, it's a little bit harder to really catch. But that's what the spirit of justice and judgment is, how those spirits are prevailing now to create balance where there was imbalance. So, that may have worked for a time, but really it's like you eventually, even still, this is somebody that may even be thinking that they're getting away looking like the good wife or the good girlfriend or, the good partner or best friend, whatever the hell they present themselves to be. And they think they're doing a really bang up job in their performance, but it's not even really going as far to manipulate or to really convince their position, convince others of their position as maybe it has in the past, or as it would need to in order to solidify this transmission of wealth or worth or property, assets, whatever it is that's idealized in this exchange, because it's something very material. Someone is trying to eliminate a debt. With that Five of Pentacles. And it's like they will be willing to sacrifice. This kind of came up in the last message too. It might be some spin-off of that. They would be willing to sacrifice someone else to eliminate their debts or to supplement their debts. Great expectations. Yeah. Looking for sympathy. Yeah, this is that. Like, they put some plan into action. Hold on. Hold on. Why I just hear somebody trying to fake their death? Oh my God, somebody's trying to fake a death. Or has, or wants to. That's why this is reversed, because number one, it's not true. And number two, it's not going to work. This is the exposure here with the Sun card. Somebody has this harebrained scheme to fake their death, to escape debt or escape whatever this turmoil is that's on their back, and to go slip off overseas or into the distance somewhere and just pretty much start a new life, and to collect $2,000, of course we know it, but I'm saying it in monopoly terms, $2,000 past go, or how to say, like somebody's playing with life. That's what they playing. That's what they're doing. They're playing the game. What? So she's supposed to be the one to kind of like, really sell the story, the act. Unless somebody is actually faking to get away from her, because I did say they were both in the debt. Somebody is trying to pull a stunt here. I don't know if it's the collective, which it may be with the lovers here. And I already said that this is some phony business with the lovers and the energy that I'm picking up. After the Magician and now here with this Three of Wands, there's some expectation for these antics. Oh, yeah, it ain't gonna work. Somebody got too many eyes on them, whether it's either her bad acting that, she just overdid it and now nobody is really buying it. It's like I said, it's like somebody, you heard what I said, where I said somebody is really putting it on thick to be like you crying at the casket, online, shedding a tear and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, maybe even with the Chariot card, ooh, it could have been like a stage accident with the Chariot in reverse, because the Chariot can be like a car, or it could be some type of vehicle accident or something, or what you torch the car? How would you be pronounced, or over the cliff or something like that, something crazy? Yeah, look at this. It's the war. Oh my God. This is wild. Now, I know y'all probably think I'm crazy for this, but I feel this energy. Somebody is trying to fake, or they tried and they played themselves, or this is the outcome, whichever one. But that was the intention, to try to escape their debts, to escape probably some exposure with that Sun card for why they in debt in the first place, how they've put themselves in a poor situation, and to try to go start a life somewhere else and some new identity. But wherever you go, there you are. And also, I get the sense where I started with this about there being some ulterior motive with the feminine energy, is where she may have been presenting herself to be the Academy Award winning actress to sell this story. Behind the scenes, she was probably actually setting herself up for to be the beneficiary indefinitely. And if the finances are in her possession, or she is like, more or less, what you call it, the executor of the estate, that means she has full range and control to maneuver and manipulate as she sees fit. So where it is he thought it was, Bonnie and Clyde, them against the world, they gonna go live in Tahiti somewhere, or I don't freaking know, wherever, off the money that they swindled pretty much off of this fraud. How you gonna sacrifice yourself for, I guess it wouldn't be the first. It's not even the most outlandish thing I've ever heard, but it's funny that it's coming to my table, because I've never seen that on my table. And it's very clear. I'm cracking up. It's funny to me. You're really trying to create a bestseller out of this one, eh? But when you end up behind bars, you ain't gonna be able to even, yeah, exactly. It's just creating more burden, because you're not even gonna be able to make no money off your own story. All this stress that you created, and the story's amazing now, but you're not even gonna benefit from it behind bars. And like I said, with under this Magician and the Ten of Wands, I get the sense that the plan has gone awry. And like I said, wherever he is in hiding, he's probably there struggling, without the bag, and she's holding the bag, or there, whatever this energy is. It's like, it feels like he got duped, where she did her part, she sold the story, or she tried to, and maybe that's what the disappointment is. That because the Chariot card can also be police as well, or some type of agent. But it's in reverse though. So I'm feeling strong on that accident or something that's been overturned, like consider like a car flipping over or something like that. Or it could be the fact that the police weren't on to it, which wouldn't be no damn surprise, right? Maybe they actually did pull it off. But like I said, the disappointment is here he is in this foreign land here, having the expectation for her to show up any day with the bag, and she gone with the wind, honey. Gone with the wind. And what you gonna do? Come back, resurrect, and go, sue her for your money? It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? But just be in poverty and stuck, and now literally estranged from life, because you supposed to be like, you're a dead man walking. That's what you are, literally a dead man walking. This is nuts. This is nuts. Wow. Karma. All's fair in love and war, isn't it? What was that? I just want to say. Jeez. That flip was so strong. Exactly. He mad. He's somewhere mad, heated, trying to turn back the hands of time, trying to fight against. But it's like, what are you going to fight against? You created this reality literally out of an illusion. There's literally nothing and no one to fight against. It's like a phantom that you would be literally, because you don't exist. You're dead. So you're like a headless horseman. Yo, look in the Chariot card. Speaking of which, with the Death card. Oh my God, this is wild. Come on, give me, what is the practicality of this? Can it get practical? Because this is too wild for me. I need receipts of how this is real before I just, before I just take this at face value. What is this? Yeah, and regret. So this is crazy. Refusing to accept what he created because it's so, like, you had real great expectations, to trust somebody with your whole life, literally. To literally put your life in somebody else's hands that would even be willing to pull such a scheme in the first place. Like, you had to know that the stakes were high to rely on that type of energy. And this is somebody that really, it was like, talk about a gamble, Wheel of Fortune. They literally gambled with their life and bet on someone that never had any intentions. How could this be practically spirit? Please, if it's not literally somebody faking their death, what is this? It's gotta be some other expression of this that can be more normal. Cause everybody ain't no way. Like, everybody ain't out here faking their death. That's just crazy. So hold on, let me get 2 more cards and then I'll try to make some sense of this, but I'm gonna take that too, whatever that is. The 10 of Pentacles, yeah, like without his fortune, man's whole life, the weeping widow, whole come up, and she don't have nothing that, well, let's, yet, let's just say yet, because clearly no one can last in that frequency. Like I said before, you may get over in the natural, but you will not get over on spirit. It's just not going to happen. Karma is serving up everyone equally. And so, like I said, hold on, because I got to see, because there was some come-uppage that has happened. That now we got the Empress sitting here on the deck. On the table. And him left in despair. And just like completely in limbo, because with the Four of Cups, what are you going to do? There's really nothing you can do but just really like drink of the cup that you poured up for yourself at this point. No course of action other than to come back and face not only everything that you tried to escape, but also now, so practically speaking, this is just somebody that just kept making matters worse. They kept compounding their karma. That's what it is. So if it's not somebody that literally tried to fake their death, it's somebody that they already were in hot water based on some actions or some things, some choices that they made that led them to the Five of Pentacles. As I said, it could be physically, it could be spiritually, mentally. It's just poverty, a presence of poverty in that existence. And whomever they connected with was either the cause of it or was just the collaborative force within it. Instead of them putting an end to that situation or stop, a strong stop at whatever was causing that outcome or that reality, they decided to really to make choices that, it's like somebody, how can I say this? It's like they were already in hot water, but they kept doing things like somebody that's trying to fix a situation, but each time they try to fix it, they just keep making it worse. It's like, well, if you would have left it well enough alone, maybe 10 choices ago, you know what I mean? You may have actually come out okay, but because it's like, let's say in terms of a lie, because this is probably the most simplest practical thing I can say. When somebody tells a lie, but because they tell that lie, they have to support it with another lie. And then because that lie is now supporting that lie, they have to create another lie to support those two lies. And it just continues to be a snowball effect till you're literally just living a lie ultimately because of the, what you created of it, the reality that you created of it. Now there's an expectation for you to actually live within it. So, okay, so somebody, say perhaps said they could do a thing, and now they made a certain promise or said they could deliver on a certain thing, right? So now when those promises are there's an expectation for that fulfillment, instead of them saying, oh man, you know what, I actually can't do that. That's not within my power. That's not my jurisdiction. I don't have the resources, whatever. Instead, they go rob Peter to pay Paul, whether this be physically or energetically, because we got the Magician card here, so I'm seeing this very mystically. Somebody said they could do something in mysticism or in power that they really can't do. So instead of them just surrendering to their lie and, tucking their tail between their legs and moving on, they had to figure out a way to make real what they said they could do. So they went and dug themselves in a hole, either with associations with other people that said they could do a thing or could help them. Like, say somebody goes and finds a practitioner or some type of mystical medium of sorts that would help buffer their void by doing a certain thing that they actually can't do, but them presenting it as if they can. So now you've presented these receipts or this evidence of what you say you can do, but all along you really can't do it. Yet you've created an even more heightened expectation and a demand, maybe even perhaps, for this proven, what's the right word for it? Ability, let's say, of sorts that you've now proven that you can do. So now it's like, all right, well, what's up? Like, since you could do that, I got about 4 or 5 more orders for you. Do this. But still, they don't say, well, I can't, that's a little bit out of my league, or they don't quit while they're ahead. This is the tragic. This is if quit while you were ahead was a person, or they didn't quit while they were ahead was a person. And this is the tragic case of not doing so. So instead of them saying like, nah, like that, I'm out. You got what I was able to prove myself once, but I don't want to keep doing blah, 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 whatever. No, they got sucked into the game, whatever the game is, and continue to dig themselves into a deeper debt, because the more that they were able to produce a certain effect, the higher the demand became, but subsequently, the higher the return and the reward became too. So then there was the conflict in spirit, because it's like, well, I'm making all this money doing this thing, but not really doing all this thing, having to almost employ or enlist other support systems to help me do this thing. But all the while, not only is you're getting the reward on the front end, because you got the recognition, you got the clout, you got the the money, whatever the advancement is, and on the front end is sweet, but on the back end you're running yourself rampant trying to keep up with the demand, because you got people, you got payroll, you got people that you have to account for that are helping you do the thing, whatever the thing is, right? Now you got to take care of those people, and the stakes are getting higher on the back end, because probably somewhere down the line people are realizing that they're pretty much funding your franchise. So naturally they're going to want to get a little bit more of the piece of the pie on account of what they're helping you to do that you wouldn't be able to do on your own. They're recognizing their true value, their invaluability to some degree to your operation, and so are increasing the demand on you. Now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because in order for you to keep on delivering the product, whatever that is, on the demand, you got to keep paying the supplier. And the price of the supply is starting to outweigh the return on the demand even, and therefore is affecting even your output, because you're not able to keep up with either side. That is, and it's still like not practical, but that's the most practical I can make it, I think, in this moment, because I don't think it is very practical. I think it's something very dark and mystical that somebody got entangled into, and they wrote pretty much their mouth and their energy wrote a check that now their ass can't cash, because when the stakes got too high, of course, instead of that, and this is probably roped in a whole bunch of other stuff. So not only was it like spiritual infractions, it was actually natural infractions, perhaps even unto the law. And then what you got to do, that's why I say, like, this could be the police. Maybe they had to start paying police or paying officials, or like everybody was on payroll, like I said, to enlist all of this support system to deliver as this magician or mystic of sorts. It cost a lot of money. And it cost a lot of money, and somebody was not able to keep up with the cost of production, and eventually started to get swamped by the heightened demand, of which they couldn't even fully deliver on, to then get the return to pay the production. And it was just like a mess. So I'm getting here that the partnership that they relied upon the most, which will be reflected not only in the Five of Pentacles, is because these intentions were poor from the beginning. They began poor and they ended poor, or they're going to. And the Lover's card is, as I said, is some facade of a partnership that's definitely not founded on anything pure. And the intentions, of course, display that. They amount to that when it comes down to it. So the only reason why he was so intentional about really putting his trust and faith into this partnership is because he probably had nothing else to really put his trust and faith into. She might have actually been more of the so-called mystical one. And I do say that in quotes because I get the sense that she was frauding him too. And she probably had her own game going on behind the scenes and on the sideline, saying, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. And that's probably where also the deficit came in, because the things that she said she could produce on account of their partnership, she also was outsourcing or not being able to do at all. And the whole time, her whole intention was to really just entangle him into her web so that she could ultimately reap the benefits of the fortune holistically on her own. A come up here with the Empress card. Take the whole fortune for herself and leave him with nothing. Now, this harebrained scheme, and so the sacrifice that can be expressed in a practical sense, if he didn't try to fake his death, or what if that wasn't some scheme of sorts, it could just be the fact that he has fallen on the sword for the both of their schemes as the front man, and instead of her being the one, naturally, so if they are married, then there would be a covering of spousal privilege. And that's probably the faith that he was relying upon, that maybe she wouldn't blow the whistle or pull his card because of spousal privilege. But you can choose to revoke that, if I'm not mistaken, and you could sing like a bird if you want to. And in some cases, I believe you may even be forced to in certain instincts. I'm not sure exactly how, but maybe if you weren't married before certain things occurred, or whatever the case may be, or if the marriage was fraudulent, which maybe it was, and it would be null and void as to the privilege altogether. But there was something here, and I know it's in this vein, and I'm gonna tell you why, of something fraudulent, because I've been fighting myself not to even bring it up, because I didn't even want it to have an impression on the reading at all. But I never see things or say things for no reason. But I had started watching the response of Legion, who was the other half of Risa Tisa's Who the F Did I Marry series. Some noble little content creator decided to let him bend his ear for 2 hours with all his lies and fabrications, and it's ridiculous. Like, it's beyond ridiculous. Like, I've only gotten through a portion of it, and I was like, I gotta get out of here, because this is just too much lying for me. Like, you could just feel the energy, like, you're lying, guy. And not only are you lying, but now you throwing even more dirt on this woman's name that you know for a fact, we may not know for sure, but you know she doesn't deserve this. You going out here, not all so-called because he wanted to protect his family and get people to stop harassing his folks or whatever. And it's one thing to get on and maybe try to counteract a couple stories and this and that, but it's like he's going out of his way to make her look even worse with this story of her cheating and all this, and it's so fake and phony that it don't even make no sense. You know, it's like it's not even a believable counter story to what she's already told, and then you're doubling down to make her look even worse. And it's like one thing to protect yourself and your family, or to even so-called clear your name, which he could legitimately do without dragging her through the mud, but he's intentionally doing that so that, you know, he could sully her as much as possible, so that, hell, you might still think I might be lying, but at least it'll put a question in your mind about if she's lying too. And it's not working, because it's just making him look like even more of a snake and a scumbag than we already thought he was with our own imagination and with, you know, with her story. Now you're just solidifying it. You're making it like clear as to who you truly are. So I know that that's the energy here. Now, of course, she to me gives me true Empress vibes. Like, of course I don't know her, but there's something honest and honorable about what she's saying. But in this regard, it's given as somebody, it's two peas in a pod that were just a match made in hell pretty much. And they ended up finessing each other out of fortune and out of, you know, I should say for the sake of fortune and fame, or whatever it is that they were doing it for. And ultimately, it's just come crashing down. Now, the only thing I want to get to the bottom of with this down here at the end, I'm going to take a few more cards and I'm going to get out of here. But this is like, it's that vibe, you know, where two people. Oh, so I don't think I finished my thought about the police, like where she pretty much has either thrown everything, all the fault onto him, maybe actually legally, you know, become the whistleblower of the operation and just like spilled the beans, like, no, I had nothing to do with it, it was all him, like kind of put him on the stake, you know, to be hung out to dry. Or it's energetically so, or socially so, that she's propping herself up in the way that Legion is trying to make Risa Tisa look like, oh, she's just doing this for clout and clicks and all that. Like her story is a fabrication, but this is someone that might be propping themselves up to give that impression like this is the story, this is what happened. It is really a fabrication, but what it also succeeds to do is to completely, like, she's projecting everything that perhaps they had going on together onto him as if this was his idea, like almost an assassination of his character, if not an actual assassination, if you will, which in some cases can be worse, you know, because even with the dude Legion, now he know good and well that woman ain't telling no lies, but God forbid you got somebody that's just as shifty as you, and not only are they not willing to take accountability or for their part, they're pushing everything off onto you like you did it all. It was all you. Every dirt, every morsel of grime came from you, and they come out squeaky clean as the Empress. Can you imagine getting donations like Risa Tisa is, or people sympathizing and empathizing with them? I don't really think that's really what's truly happening, because like I already said, I don't think people are quite buying into the act as much as it was anticipated for it to be. And I also don't think the fortune is panning out in the way that it was expected either. But one thing's for sure is that somebody is the odd man out here more so than the other in this moment. How that gets to end, I'm not sure, but somebody is definitely, it's like somebody's taking all the karma for the whole of it. Like the whole operation is being, like he's eating the whole plate for everything. That's wild. Knight of Cups. Let's see. Oh, he's like put in a position to almost have to beg like a pauper for probably what already belongs to him. Put in a position that he's literally, it's like a finessing position because he doesn't really want to be at her beck and call or at her whim, but he's wiped out. He don't have, wow. So somebody put themselves in a position to have to answer to somebody that's not at all trustworthy or credible. Or, hold on. Yeah, it's all fair. It's all fair. It's like spirit teams, spirit guides are saying like, we told your ass. Like all his spirit team is over here like just looking like we told your ass to leave that girl alone, to get out of that conflict, to stop doing that foolishness, to quit while you were ahead. And it's like now he's trying to get to the spirit of the matter over here to balance this energy out, but who's all up in the middle running the show? With all his monies. But that's what I'm saying. It's like she done gone from the Empress down to the Queen of Pentacles already, and I feel like it's the same energy. So it's given that whatever she got away with, she either isn't going to have it long, or it's not what she thought, and it's not going to last the way this. It's not really going to go the distance that she thought it would. It really is like she's kind of given the persona of Queen of Pentacles in this moment, especially up against what he has to show for himself, because she's holding the control of the fortune at this time. So he's literally like at her mercy. That's the entanglement here with the Five of Pentacles. Because like, God forbid, oh my gosh, this is so silly. So God forbid he might be on the inside or facing some type of jail time or some type of legal issues or something like that. For a defense, she got the money. You know, it's like, it's given like somebody that may have some, I hear this so clear too, like this fraudulent partnership of sorts where he could have, this could be another layer to it or another aspect. But where they got married for the so-called spousal privilege. And so in light of perhaps there being some legal trouble or threat, he signed over his assets to her to protect, or maybe they weren't married or whatever. I'm not sure how this goes legally, but to protect the fortune in some way, he signed everything over to her so that, you know, safekeeping and, you know, the accounts can't be frozen, the feds can't swoop in or swipe whatever is left to be, you know, to be accounted for. So they both have something to eat off. But like I said, number one, either she's spending it by the minute already down to the Queen of Pentacles, or is so tied up in her own self-preservation and promotion and motives that he's like coming through like a beggar, almost like pleading for support on what he's supposed to have all access to. But this person isn't trustworthy, and it's like it's the thing that's actually keeping from balancing the scales, even in a legal sense, you know. But spiritually, like I said earlier, spiritually, this is justified. Can be like spiritual justice to me sometimes with the Temperance card. Like everything's fair, everything's balanced here on account of what's occurred. And the ancestors' presence here is almost like, what do you call it? Like almost like sanctioning it to some degree. Like, yeah, well, we told you. Like, we told your ass. You had the warnings, you heard the calls, and you ignored them. So you wanted to do it your way, and now here you are with no pentacles, someone completely unworthy, having taken over everything. You now at her whim. That's the entanglement itself, because where he would want to be disconnected from this energy here, he can't be. Back to the Five of Pentacles, because she's holding all the funds, or she's holding all the cards, which would ultimately make or break his own, not only his privilege, but also his actual liberty, perhaps in a very practical sense. The one who might be able to, that would be the one credible testimony against him to turn the whole tables upside down. That's who he ultimately has sold his soul to, for the purposes of trying to protect whatever this fortune was, trying to avoid spiritual fortune by way of misfortune for karmic events, and not listening to inner guidance that really, right up here under the Four of Cups, as a matter of fact, that's been probably trying to lead him away from this outcome far before it became this bad. I don't even know what to say. Let's see what's on the bottom. Now somebody crying. Now somebody crying, wishing they would have taken the Ace of Cups back in the Four of Cups when they had the chance. And it's still available, but now it's filled with their own tears, because there's so many regrets, so many mistakes, missteps, so many missed opportunities to avoid this despair. Like I said, somebody had the opportunity like 10 steps ago to get out of this, and they continue to dig themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, oh, you can't do this? All right, well, I get somebody that can. Oh, it's that much, they want to pay that much money for this? All right, I'm gonna figure out how like they've been finessing whole time to figure out who got the goods, so that they can hustle them as their own. And it's given like a spiritual booster. Ooh, that's what it is. Like either an energy booster, or, a booster like people that steal and then and then sell it. And it's like more, well, in this case, it ain't even really boosting, because it wasn't at 100% profit in the end, because he had to start paying for that production cost. So no, it wasn't quite boosting. Maybe at first it was, where he was kind of stealing energy from others, but promoting it as selling it off as his own. That's what it was. But when that well ran dry, is when he had to actually start putting out money. That's what I'm saying about it getting deeper and deeper. It was all fine and good when you could siphon some energy here and there and know the source was none the wiser. The sources were none the wiser, and then present it as your own. That could be somebody stealing ideas, stealing content, stealing people's own life stories, like the dude Legion, who stole his twin brother's identity and presented it as his own, pretty much, to gain that partnership that ultimately did level him up, because it moved him out of his studio apartment into her nice little townhome. So is that. But eventually, what did he do? But continue to dig himself into a deeper hole, because with every lie that he would tell, we're going to get this house and I can get approved for this mortgage and that. He had to continue to produce and fabricate more receipts to support that lie until eventually he crapped out. Thankfully, with her. Ooh, look. That was the Ace of Wands. I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, it's the end of that. It's the end. It's finally come to a close. Like, it could even be bringing other people to tears, even energetically, because as I was thinking about the whole Legion thing, I was just praying, because I know I've been exposed to some dark energies, but more covertly than overtly. It took me some time and some spiritual awareness to realize, what was going on under the surface and behind the scenes. But I was just really thankful. And trust me, that can be more damaging than it happening right in front of your face. Like, it's one thing to deal with a known liar and be like, you lying. Like, I know you lying. That first of all, you are a liar. And second of all, that don't even sound credible. That don't even sound realistic. It's different when you're dealing with somebody that's just, it's so much more diabolical when you have no idea the lengths that a person will go to just create illusions of who they are to you, and illusions about your connection in the world that you are, whatever, especially if it's a partnership. Like, that's scary shit, for real. But I was just really thoughtful, like, in the end, I'm grateful now, not that there's an end, but, now as it stands, I haven't met my definite detriment on account of it. That even the worst that may have been very covert still wasn't so detrimental that I was beyond repair, or I was just completely depleted beyond recognition. Some of the things that you uncover, even, that were happening below the surface, it's like, it's disturbing, it's disheartening for sure. But if you can survive it and still have your mind and your spirit and even your peace intact, it's like, okay, well, lesson learned. And you're definitely more the wiser for it, because your senses are more on high alert for things that look like that, or that feel like that, more so I should say, than anything, because sometimes it looks like something completely different. But I was just grateful that I never had to deal with anybody that, that just ran me through the mud in my face, and like I said, it's probably worse, because I know that there are some energies out there that got a lot to say about me, and they take every opportunity and every audience to do so. But I do believe that, truth prevails, and that no matter what, just as I can sense the lion-ass energy on Legion, that this is a season where lies don't have a place to live. That what once maybe sounded very believable and may have even seemed to come from trustworthy sources is now quite questionable, and quite unbelievable, just by the matter of time kind of revealing reality at this point. But it's still something to be said about being entangled with energies that make you feel like you can trust them. And it's a conflict in your spirit where it's like you know that there's something in you that's saying that makes you feel like, but I don't know, but this something don't feel settled, And then those that get that inkling, get that nudge, and then move against it or away from it, I should say, with the Hermit card here, and at every single opportunity that you had to trust yourself and trust spirit, you decided not to. It's like you don't have anything or anyone to really blame but yourself when it all blows up, or turns out to be exactly what you thought it was or what you felt it was, which was a damn lie. So somebody wanted to contribute to that facade and that illusion. They wanted to play with it. They found value, they found reward from it, and now they become a victim of it. Well, sorta, not really, but you know what I mean. And now it's like curtain closed. Time is up. The cup is still there, but the stakes, you know, like now the value of it is so much different now. It's like literally a matter of survival now, whereas it could have been more of a thrive. You know, this is literally what would keep someone alive at this point, to just really be honest and forthright and truthful in ways that may be painful to be exposed, or for, you know, the reality of your identity to be revealed. Like, say if it was somebody that had to come back from their wake, you know, and face everything that they left behind. Like I said, it's even much more to face than what it was in the first place. And sometimes that can be much more daunting of a reality to contend with than the illusion of what, you know, is more palatable. But it's certainly not, it's not lasting, and it's not sustainable. So this is like the only choice that someone has to survive, to be revitalized again with that Ace of Wands even. Like, this is the only opportunity that someone has, is to face the music of who they've been. Because the cycle of that level of insanity is closed. It's completely ended. Only the way of truth and love and light is what gets to exist moving forward, no matter what it may seem in the everyday world. That's the only thing that can truly survive the long haul at this point. Everything else is just scratching to survive, literally. All right, so that's it for today. That was a bit of a roller coaster, eh? I don't know where it began and where it ended, but I guess we pulling into the station point now, so you can now take off your seatbelts. Until the next ride, I suppose. But you know, it is what it is. I guess it needed to be said, and so I said it. Deal with it. All right, so anyway, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, of course, because this was a doozy. But until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.